There you go. It's game time.
Detail did it, Barbershop Podcast. Conversation for and about the culture. This season 2 right here.
We back.
We back.
Yeah.
We don't stop. It's game time. We don't flop. We don't stop. It's game time. We don't flop. We don't stop. It's game time. We don't flop.
Alrighty. Good morning, good morning, good morning. You see this audio joint right here. Put this up. 2 and 1. Check. Microphone check.
Flop. We don't stop. When it's game time, we don't.
Good morning, Facebook. This is the Detailed Did It podcast, barbershop podcast for that matter, because that is more or less the focus that we're going to be getting into today and for the remainder of this season. I thank you all for tuning in, getting up with your boy this morning. This is something new for me. I am solo, so I've been trying to set up everything in this joint to get it popping as far as on all the streams, making sure we're streaming live on YouTube, making sure we're streaming live on Facebook, making sure we're streaming live on Facebook. So yeah, it's cool though, because sometimes you know when you're in a certain space and you want to do some certain things, everybody not gonna be rocking with you. So I'm here this morning, up early on a Monday morning, and if y'all, I just want to say real quick, if you all find value in the content that I'm releasing and putting out, please share it with somebody on all of our handles, at South Crown, at Detailed Did It Podcast, on our YouTube channel. We also have, and the podcast itself on iTunes and SoundCloud. There's some really good weather this morning. I got here like 5:30 or 6:20 or something like that. Yeah. So the weather's good, everything's good. I'm feeling good. It's gonna be a wonderful day. It's Monday, it's Mullet Monday, and today we're gonna be discussing the power of a haircut, and the fact that it can make or break you. And also we're gonna talk about my next guy who's coming on with his podcast, Patrick. He'll be talking about reality and realty. So that's gonna be real dope. I'm excited to see what he's gonna be discussing as far as real estate game goes, and educating us and getting us all, aware of the ins and outs of owning a home and the lies and deception and all that good stuff. So anyway, we'll talk more about that here in a little bit. We'll also, man, there's so much stuff to talk about this morning. But first, I'm a little nervous because again, I'm by myself, and I just want to first thank y'all all again for rocking with me this morning. I want to get y'all up this morning and ready for your week. It's Monday. Everybody hates Mondays, but the beautiful thing about Monday is that A, you're alive, B, you got somewhere to go and someone depending on you to get there so you can make things happen. So that is a blessing in itself. And it's Monday. Like, it's a blessing to have a job. It's a blessing to have a gig. It's a blessing to be able to go and do the things you need to do to support the people on your team and your family and your circle and things of that nature. So I love Mondays, even though I'm typically off on Mondays, but as a business owner and full barber on deck, there's really never any days off. So with that being said, I'm here on my day off, essentially. But again, good morning. How y'all doing out there this morning? This is the first morning show, and I'm excited about it. And I want to focus today on, or typically a period on this barber game. And I want to discuss the power of a haircut. And it's so crazy because there's so much power in a great haircut for that matter. And there's a lot of power, negative power in a bad haircut. And in my opinion, a haircut is a man's, speaking of a man, but not exclusively to men, but 99% of my clientele is men, so I'm speaking to that demographic right now. But for a man, especially a brother, a haircut is a man's first and best foot forward. Like, a haircut is you gotta think about it. People are gotta walk around with this haircut for the next 2 weeks. And barbers, if y'all are listening to me, it is imperative that you put everything that you got into your haircut. Treat each haircut, like it's your last one. You're only as good as your last haircut anyway. And no matter how great you may have cut this particular client in your chair right now last time, it's irrelevant at this moment, because every time a client or a customer steps into your shop, no matter if he's been rocking with you for 10 years, every time he steps in the shop, it's like the first time, because you have to recreate and make it happen again today. And you can't slack, and you can't get comfortable and think just because I've been cutting this guy forever, I can just wham bam him and get him out the chair. No, it is attention to detail at all times. And that is how you build your success. That's how you keep the longevity. That's how you keep a positive name. And that's how you keep your chair never, ever empty. Because these people are looking forward to it. They depend on it. And it's almost a drug when you produce such a great product. And it's just imperative, because, a haircut might be the one thing that gets a guy in the door to have the confidence to maybe ask a girl out, or, the confidence in a job interview, or, the confidence just within himself to get up in the morning and go, attack his day. A haircut is just that powerful, because the first thing you do when you get up in the morning and brush your teeth is you look in the mirror, and you want to see a reflection of how you feel within to reflect on the outside of you. And it is a barber's duty and calling and main objective to accomplish your look that is, defined to you. Everybody doesn't have the same look. All heads aren't shaped the same. So you have to be able and diverse in your styles and in your ability to cut hair, to give each client their look that is catered to them and redefine their image of themselves and build their confidence. And a haircut will do just that every single time. And on the flip side, if you mess up a haircut or you give a bad service, man, that negativity travels way faster than the positive stuff. In case you ain't know, the last thing you want is your client out there blast you on the social network, or putting out bad reviews, or trolling and all that kind of stuff. But it's up to you, because essentially your haircut is your calling card. And you want, when your haircut is out there in the public, to bring in more clientele, to make this person walk with a bit of swag to themselves, and make them want to, tell other people about your haircut. And if your haircut is as good as you think it is, it'll speak for itself. People will approach your client and say, hey, that's a nice haircut. Who's cutting your hair? You want to cut hair so good that when people see a haircut out there that's great, they know it's your work, because you have created a style and it's a defined look that when people see it, they know that's your work. And that's what I try to do. Since I've been in this game, I've tried to create a brand. When you see my work, that's me. And it's just important that every time you pick up those clippers, if you're not gonna give it your best every single time, don't pick up the clippers. Keep say, hey, I'm done for the day. Because when a client walks in, yeah, he may know that you've been working all day, been in here since 5 a.m. But when he comes in at 3:30 or 4:30 or 5:30 p.m. on your 12-hour shift, for him, all that's irrelevant. All he cares about is his time frame, and you need to care about that time frame and that time frame only, and focus completely on your client. That 30-45 minute slot is theirs, and you want to be able to give them your full attention and make them feel comfortable, so that you can produce the product that needs to that they want and that they need, and and even give them a better example of what they thought they wanted. So it's tough out there these days for barbers, because our industry is booming. It's at an all-time high. It's getting the respect that it deserves. Barbers have been around since the beginning of time. And, we've always kind of had we haven't been represented very well in the past, and as far as the respect game goes. But now, we have $1 million barbers out there. We have celebrity barbers out there. And These guys are getting to where they're going by one haircut at a time and doing what they got to do in this grind and producing a good look that, it's put them in a place that is pretty remarkable considering they're just barbers. And to me, there's no such thing as just a barber, at least not for me, because I take this craft and this lifestyle and everything in it, all levels, all facets of this game very seriously. And it's these clippers saved my life. So that is what I want to focus on a lot this season. To, speaking to my barbers, I want us to, come together. We need to link up. San Antonio, let's stand up. Let's get together. It's 2019. There's no reason why we can't come together and make more things happen. And just be better people in our community and to our families and to, our shops and just all around. And that's what I'm about. That's what we're building on this season and this time around. I'm still gonna cover other matters that matter to me as far as the activism is going. And I want to give a shout out to JB, who was supposed to come in this morning, but he had to do some things with his daughter this morning. So shout out to you, JB. We'll see you next Monday. But yeah, man, I had a good week. It's Mullet Monday, and Mullet Mondays we want to talk about, the business aspect, because mullet is what? Business in the front and party in the back, right? So this weekend, let's talk about the business part first. So business-wise, I'll give a little bit of advice. What can I think about today as far as business? All right, so if you're a new barber out there and you're out here trying to build your clientele, one bit of advice I would offer is if you want to look at the type of clientele, how many people you want to see yourself cutting a day. If you picture yourself or you want to see yourself cutting 10 people a day, let's just say 10 people, then it is imperative that every single day that you walk around, that you have at least some dummy or some business cards, and make sure you hit 20 people a day, 10 people a day. If you want to cut 10 people in your chair, have 10 people in your chair every single day, one thing you can do for sure to make that happen is every day of your life as a barber, a young barber trying to make it happen, make sure you have 10 cards on you every single day and don't come home with cards in your pocket. When I was a young barber and I got in the game from day one, even in barber college, I had business cards. And everywhere I went, every single day, I passed out business cards. Every single day, I had 20 cards in my pocket. I got the little cheap Vistaprint joints. I got like 1,000 cards or 2,000 cards, whatever it was. And every single day, I would pass out my cards to everybody, because you figure when you step outside your house every day, you're gonna see at least 100 people. So at the gas station, at your HEB, any and everywhere, at the Sprint store, at AT&T, at the mall, wherever you're at, the gas, pumping gas, you see people, and all people are walking around with a haircut or their lack thereof. And it's nothing to walk up to somebody and pass them your business card. You figure if you pass out 10 to 20 business cards every single day, at least one person gonna hit you up. So I think the more you put out there, and no matter what, I'm talking about, give it to everybody. If you don't see no guy and you see a woman, that woman has a dad. That woman might have a son. That woman has, an uncle or a cousin or a brother. She knows a guy. Give him a business card. Make sure you passing them out, hitting them every day, because that's not only is that physically putting into motion what you want, that is telling the universe, hey, I'm hungry, hey, I want it. And the universe is gonna reflect what you're putting out, because you reap what you sow. And I'm a strong believer in the law of attraction. If you see it and you believe it, it shall be. So if you wanna see yourself doing great things, you have to visualize it, know it, see it, but then you gotta put in the work. And the work is the everyday hustle. The work is having your backpack full of clippers when you're trying to build, until you get to that place where you don't have to move around like that. But when you're trying to build as a young barber getting in this game, you have to always be ready. You have to always have your business cards. You have to always be, you gotta be very assertive. You can't be shy out here, because if you're shy, then you're gonna get slow money. If you're assertive, you can have, you tell somebody, hey, listen, you pumping gas, excuse me, ma'am, or excuse me, sir, I don't mean to bother you. Here's my business card, I'm a barber, and step away. Now, if they engage in conversation, like, hey, how you doing? Woo, 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 then you take it a step further. You're like, okay, well, shoot, my name is, XYZ. I work over here, and I do walk-ins, or I do this, or I do that. Engage that person, because right then and there, you are starting. The haircut process is starting already, right then in that moment. You are introducing and giving them who you are in that moment, and even if they don't mess with you, they'll remember that. You know what I'm saying? They may not come today, they may not come tomorrow, they may come, in 6 months. Or they may send their brother or their cousin, but they had a good experience with you. You know what I'm saying? So that is what you want to do. You want to put out good vibes, good energy, so that you can reap what you're sowing. And again, you have to put, you got to be out there. You cannot sit back and think Instagram and Facebook is going to freaking put money in your pockets. Because let me tell you, likes and followers don't equate money. Don't equate none of that shit. I know so many barbers that are doing so good and so big and don't have not one follower, don't even care about an Instagram or a Facebook. And I think, we're gonna do a lot of focusing on that this season too, and talking about, do your followers and all that stuff mean as much as you think it is? Because to me, that's just really like 2% of the totality of barbering. But that's another podcast for sure. But as a young barber, yeah, you do need to be on the gram. Yeah, you do need to be on Facebook and all these different platforms promoting your work daily and all the time. You also need to be out here documenting your work. And when I say document, that means taking a picture of everything. Start off always taking pictures of your stuff. That way when people know you or meet you or whatever the case may be, they kind of just know that's your thing, you know what I mean? And it's not, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. Because some people may not be cool with that, but as far as I'm concerned, listen, this is my work and I'm taking a picture of it because it's not it's not always to document as far as posting. It's always to document, but not for posting, because like you want to be like an athlete or a boxer, say, watching tape, watching fights. You want to see the progression of your work. I can look back in 2012 at a client that I'm cutting today and look at the haircut I gave him then, and I can look at it now and I can see the progression of my craft and my work. So then I'm seeing that, hey, I know I'm getting better because I see it. So as a young barber, don't start tomorrow, start today. Invest in a good camera. You know what I'm saying? Invest in a quality phone that can produce the images that you want, or just get a good camera. You know what I mean? Like, invest in yourself as a young barber. Like, fuck Jordans, excuse my French, forget all that exterior stuff that you see on the gram and Facebook. Really you just need to turn that stuff off, to be honest with you, and just, put in the physical work that it takes to be a good quality barber, because a quality barber is somebody that's in the community, that knows his people, that's reaching out and touching folks, because this is a feel-good business. If you're not a feel-good person, this might not be the business for you, because in this game and in this business, we give joy. We make people feel good. That is the sole purpose of what we do at the end of the day. You can have good conversation. You can have 1,000 followers. You can have a cool ass shop. You can have beer and wine being served in your shop or your aesthetic. You could be in the hood. You could be whatever. At the end of the day, it's about the quality of that haircut, and that is what's going to give somebody the confidence and make them feel good. And when you're doing this, you got to be in a feel-good mode. You got to put in that energy. You have to, because energy, environment, skill, that is what creates what you want to call the experience. Because as a young barber coming in the game, like, you got to know the different facets of being a barber. It isn't just about the haircut. You need to be a quality person. You need to be a person of integrity. You know what I mean? You got to be a consistent barber. Like, if you're consistent as a young barber, or period, you have to be consistent, A, and B, you have to smile. If you just have great energy, and are consistent with your service, even if you're not the coldest barber, you will be the most paid barber, because people rather you be there for them when they need to and get a good haircut than to be there every now and again to get that great haircut. Trust me, skills pay the bills, but when you have talent, skill, and swag, man, you push all that into your client, and your client sees that. They feel that. People can feel a good haircut. They feel your vibe. You want to cut that thing with confidence. You know what I mean? You want to, as a young barber, ask as many questions as you need to get to what this client is want, so that when you turn on those clippers, you are ready to give them what they need, and what they, or more than what they need for that matter. And as a young barber, before your clippers even come on, visualize the haircut first. Don't cut your clippers on until, like, this person says, hey, I want a bald fade, right? And you looking at them, they got, like, let's say a Justin Bieber, right? So you want to see, you should need, as a barber, you should be able to visualize that bald fade on this person to an extent before your clippers even come in. And then from that point, you're basically just bringing it into fruition. You are manifesting it from mind to matter. You know what I mean? So, like, that's imperative, young barbers. And I don't mean young barbers, it's just people, period, that are just getting into the game. And just barbers all across the board. Like, you never stop advertising. You never stop putting it out. I have been in this game for almost 13 years now. And since I've been in this game professionally, I've been posting pictures. You can go on my gram, on Facebook, any platform, and you will see a decade ago, I was posting my pictures. I was passing out flyers. I was making flyers. I was doing everything to bring the attention to what I'm doing, so that I can always have a plethora of clientele from all walks of life. And I will end this part of the segment on barbers. This is to my barbers, young barbers. Listen, cut everything you can cut. Don't pass up no money. Don't hide for no money. A client come in, it's not typically the cut you are used to or like giving. Cut that client. Cut it all, man. Don't run from them cuts, because the stuff that you cut that you don't like makes you even better in the cuts that you do like. Trust me on this. So yeah, yes, the power of a haircut is extremely important, and it's why I exist. It's why I think God created me. Well, at least one of the reasons why He created me. And it's a great way for me to express what's within me by what I push out when I put in, cut ahead, because it's more to me than that. And I'm speaking to the barbers out there that are in the game for the right reasons. And even if you're not in the game for the right reasons, maybe you didn't know, but this thing called barbering is deeper than rap. I mean, it goes way, way back, and we're a part of something bigger than just, a timeline. It's way bigger than that, and it's imperative, and we have so much power, because the power doesn't just lay in the haircut. The power also lays in the barber, and what he is to so many people, having to deal with so many diverse situations as far as haircuts, textures, people, character, like personalities. It's crazy, but so long as you stick to the script, put out good energy, always do your best. Like and this is one of the laws that I have my children in our little Johnson law, family laws. But one of the laws that I got from the book, The Four Agreements, I think his name is Don Miguel. If you haven't read it, please check it out. It's called The Four Agreements. It's so dope. But one of the agreements is always do your best. And people like, man, you can't always do your best. Like, yeah, you can. And when I say that, your best is not gonna always be the same, but you can always do your best. Like, your best at 5 in the morning may not be the same best as you are at 6 p.m. cutting hair, tired at the end of the week. But at the end of the day, it's the effort. Like, you put in the effort. You do your best. You know, your best is gonna be different maybe when you are fresh and in a good mood than your best when you know, getting over a cold, but you're a barber, so you fight through it, you be at work anyway. So, but you don't cut no hair with an excuse to not do a good job because you're XYZ. Again, barbers, if you're gonna pick up the clippers, do your best. Like, if you're not in the mood or with something's going on, don't cut the hair. You know what I'm saying? So like, no matter what's going on in your life, leave that shit at the door. Give your energy to your client, and that's easier said than done. Trust me, I have so many things that go on with me on so many different levels on a day-to-day basis, but at the same time, I still have to give that client my very best, you know? And so that's what it is. Always do your best, no matter how you're feeling, you know, because your client will reciprocate with your client. You know, there was one time, I was in the shop, this is not too long ago, but I got the news that my grandmother passed away, right? So, and it was in the middle of my day, right? My client just sat down in a chair, I just draped him, and then I got the phone call from my dad, and it was like, your grandmother's gone. And so my back is to him, I'm getting the news, and he's behind me kind of like hearing a little bit of the conversation. And so, you know, I hang out with my dad and I just stand there like, oh snap, like, it's just like hitting me like, damn, my grandmother is really gone. Like, that was very, very heavy because I'm very, very close to my grandmother. And I know she's here with me, God rest her soul, Sadie Thomas, the best. But in that moment, you know, I still had a job to do. And that was the easiest excuse to say, you know what, I'm out of here, whatever the case may be. But for me, you know, I don't think my grandma would have wanted me to walk away or run, because that's not what she taught me. She taught me always to stand up and fight. So I turned around, you know, cut my clippers on, and my man was like, yo, you good? Like, you don't have to, you know, like, man, you should take off or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, nah, man, I ain't going nowhere. Like, let's go. Let's do this. Come on, let's just go. So I'm cutting his head the whole time, and I'm crying a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But for some reason within me, I was like, go hard. It just made me go hard in that haircut. So fast forward 2 weeks later, when he comes back to the shop, he was like, man, my girl was like, she was like, man, that's like the best haircut you ever got. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I was like, yeah, that's crazy. But he was like, man, you need to get bad news more often. I was like, ha, 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 whatever. But I say all that to say this, you know, always do your best, you know, give your client 100%, come with good energy. And if you don't have the perfect energy, just stay focused in the cut. You know, there'll be times where it's like, you know what, I ain't feeling it. Like, when I got the news of my grandmother, I wasn't feeling it for the rest of the day as far as being a social butterfly in that, you know, that day. But I finished my day out and I did my very best, you know, and you know, that's what it all boils down to. My clients walked away with a really great haircut. So, but anyway, yeah, that's Barber Talk for the day. And we're gonna do more of this. You know, I have so many topics to cover. I want to cover every facet that, you know, that I know and that I feel is near and dear to my heart, as far as things such as financing with barbers, you know, opening your own shop, you know, working in bullshit shops, you know, how to get your clientele up, you know, how to diversify and really target certain demographics of people, you know, because one of my sayings is, it's how you cut and who you cut. And we'll get into that later. But that's one of my deals. It's how you cut and who you cutting. Because, you know, you want to cut people that can also help you and invest or, you know, evolve you as a person. So you want to be able to do the things that attract those type of people into your lives to you know, help upgrade you. But anyway, So what else we got on this joint? Oh yeah, so up next I'm gonna have my big homie Patrick. He'll be coming in on 8 o'clock hour of our little South Crown lineup, and he'll be talking about reality and realty, and this show covers a wide array of topics on concerning home ownership, controversial barriers and challenges to the American dream, how to get into a home no matter what, and more. He'll also have special guest stars to include celebrity business speakers, local politicians, business owners, former pro athletes, and of course, my homeboy Chad, aka Tank, and Patrick, of course. So yeah, they're gonna be keeping San Antonio classic. I'm excited for him. He's joining the team, the lineup. So we'll have the Barbershop podcast going, and after me it'll be Chad and Patrick. We'll be having Yasmin on here soon as well, and some other great things popping. But for now, I'll be doing Monday through Wednesday morning show. Essentially, I like to get to Thursday and Friday, but I gotta figure out how I'm gonna move my early morning clientele around. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna be feeling that. But anyway, so yeah, that's about it. We got about, 7:39. I got a couple minutes to speak on a few things. What the hell is going on with R. Kelly? Can somebody, because I've been protesting as far as telling everybody, we gotta stop enabling this guy. Now, I have not seen this, the Lifetime special on it, but I know, me personally, I don't have to see it because the shit makes me sick to my stomach, because I already know what it's about and what he's about and what he's been about ever since he married Aaliyah at 15, but I've just been like everybody else. I've been an enabler because he makes such great music, but when you know better, you do better. And being a father with a daughter and in this age, and just watching how this man has, we have enabled him by continuing to support and bang his music and just allow this rape culture to continue, and people like him just benefit, or get joy out of, stealing the lives of these young women and basically pimping them out to himself. So, and to me, it's a red flag. Like, these girls all want to say that they are cool, they're good, they're good, they don't want to come home, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, it's a red flag to me if these kids don't want to talk to your mom and your daddy. Like, why you can't talk to your mom and your daddy? Like, if everything is so good, why you can't speak to your parents directly? Why you got, so I don't like it. I'm not with this masculine toxicity that has been dominating the world since the beginning of time. It's just not right. It's not fair. And I'm here to say, fuck R. Kelly. Like, I don't care what happens to him as far as, like, I hope that he doesn't get to make any more music. I hope that, he reaps what he sows. And it's time. I mean, we are in the Me Too movement. It ain't happening. And it's, for all those guys that are out there that have been doing this shit for years, your day is coming, bro. It's a wrap. Now let me get up on my Facebook joint, because again, this is my first show. Again, I'm by myself this morning. I don't have, a team of people with me physically here, but they are with me. But I appreciate the love this morning. Who we got here? We got CB. What up, CB? Sean. We got, okay, let me see. What am I doing? Okay, we got, shout out to all y'all, man. Latoya, we got Sharonda, we got Devon, we got Edgar. What up, B? Yeah, this is that barber shit right here this morning, man. I appreciate that. Good morning, you too, Kenfolk. God bless you too as well. What's up, Trevor? Chad Cook, yep. There's Chad, he'll be on here soon. I hope you had a good, safe trip back in town, Kenfolk. Can't wait to see what you guys got cooking up. We got Sean, said, bro, how do you keep your barber from pushing your hairline back? Oh, wow. Look, it happens. Like, every barber's gonna eventually one day push his shit back. Now, to me, especially if you're a person that goes and gets a haircut weekly, like, and you want it extra sharp and extra crispy. Like, there are ways to avoid that, but if you have, you know, the perfect edge up that just so happens to grow right. But if you're one of those people, such as like 90% of my clientele, who have the craziest edge ups, whether it grows crooked, it's high on one side, or they got 1,000 cowlicks right there on the edge up, this shit's gonna happen. This is what you need to look for with your barber, because your barber sees you push the shit back. He sees that 5 o'clock shadow on your forehead. This is when your barber should be the one to speak up and say, hey, we need to bring the edge up back. Like, you know, I see I'm hitting it, you know what I'm saying, too much. Because, I mean, this shit happens. Like, I do it from time to time, and I have no problem with my client telling me, hey, you know, watch my edge on this time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't take it personal, you know what I'm saying? Like, it happens. But, you know, your barber needs to be mindful of that. Like, you know, it's a constant thing that you have to, some barbers you need to check. And if he's not respecting that or listening to you, and then you have some barbers whose style is to give everyone a Steve Harvey. And everyone doesn't have a Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey didn't have a Steve Harvey first and foremost. Let's get that clear. But everyone, the edge up doesn't grow to the corners and then like makes that right angle back in. Like some people, you know, every head is different. So, but some barber want all their clients to have that super duper sharp situation, and you can still achieve that, but you don't necessarily have to push them back to make that look good. And then some barbers, they just seem to do that sometimes. Cause I'm not the guy that never pushes the edge back. No, I have many clients that get haircuts weekly, and the shit happens. You know, I'm mindful of it though. You know, at least I try. Y'all got any more questions out there for me? If not, okay, well, yeah, again, fuck R. Kelly, this sex cult shit he got going. You can't, you know, be a superstar and then like, you know, take advantage of women like that. This shit ain't cool. I ain't playing this shit. And that's what it is. That's all I gotta say about that dude. I kinda wanna talk about Trump, but I don't, because I feel good it's Monday, but he's holding the country hostage with this government shutdown shit. And yeah, so anyway, if you found if you found some value in, you know, what I'm speaking on, again, share this with a barber, share this with a friend. It's Motivation Monday, Mullet Mondays. This is up front, you know, part in the back. I didn't get to the back part, which was supposed to be about what I did this weekend, which was basically just kick it with my fam and went to movies and all that good stuff. Shout out to my lovely wife, my beautiful kids, South Crown Barbershop, everybody on the team, the whole nine. Again, if y'all like what we're doing over here, or if you're interested in, you have a podcast that you want to create, or you already have it created, and you just want a place to host your show, reach out, give me a call, you know, hit me up, and let's discuss it, and you know, let's get up on this morning lineup. So, you know, we can get it cracking in the morning and motivate people and give them some good stuff while they brushing their teeth, get ready for work, and, you know, make you feel good. I appreciate everyone out there. Follow me again on Detail Did It podcast on Facebook and IG, or Detail Cuts as well, my personal handle. South Crown on all platforms. And yeah, man, that's what it is. It's January 7th. This is podcast 31 of the new season 1 lineup. Shout out to my team. Shout out to my Lance, Vito, everybody that got me online. Shout out to the Uche. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to the man that made my table. And shout out to my little brother that created my little jingle, my little you know, the little joint we come on with, which is hot. So give me some feedback. Let me know what y'all want to hear, what y'all want to talk about. You know, if you like it, you don't like it, whatever. You know me, I'm gonna do what I do anyway. Y'all have a wonderful day. Stay motivated. You know, stay grounded. It's a new year, new you. So you know, it's all about you and doing whatever you do and doing it well. If you're a barber, be a barber to the fullest. If you know, you work at USAA, whatever you do, just do it to the fullest, man. And find the passion in it so that you'll get a little bit more out of it. And you know, let's start this new year off good, right, positive. Barbers, are you out there listening? You know, let's do what we gotta do to make our communities and everybody that we know out there look good and great. Again, like I said, we got Patrick coming in here next. He's walking into the studio as we speak. And I just can't wait to see what you got to say, man. Your show's gonna be off the chain. Come on in, man. I'll have the seat real quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm just eating the joint. Get ready for you. So,
What up?
You can actually pull that mic right there. Yeah. Be careful though, cause this table, I gotta put some kind of, I don't know. But yeah, is the mic on? Yeah, it's on.
Sounds like it's on.
Yep.
It's on.
Definitely on. Making a lot of noise. But yeah, man, we got Patrick in the building. He's gonna come on here in a second. I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all have a wonderful day. God bless, peace, and we'll talk to you soon. In there. Okay. And if you end this live video now, you'll be able to choose if you want to say what it is. Okay. Okay, cool. Alright, so let me make sure this play is actually recorded.
That's the new culture from here.
This is the Detailed Did It Barbershop Podcast. Conversation for and about the culture. Yeah. It's season 2 right here. We back. Yeah. We don't stop, it's game time. We don't flop. We don't stop, it's game time. We don't flop. We don't stop, it's game time. We don't flop. We don't stop, game time. We don't flop.
Okay. Good morning, Facebook. This is the Detailed Did It Podcast, Barbershop Podcast for that matter, because that is more or less the focus that we're going to be getting into today. So, can I get you to stop the
I think
YouTube one? I'm going to have to charge my phone. I gotta find my charger, bro. Like the portable charger one?
How do you stop it?
Alright, so it should be as far as on all the streams. Making sure we're streaming live on YouTube, making sure we're streaming live on Facebook, making sure we're streaming live on Facebook. So now,
Where is it recording at all? Yeah, it's still live.
yeah, it's still live. So maybe the X. Are you sure you want this topic?